really take off until you were in the very beginning of an Aqua Teen episode where you had one line.
Yeah, that's why I did it. People were like, "Hey, if you do this, there's a chance people might know who you are."
Yeah,
You
because of
you want to
that.
get that. You're gonna get that Aqua Teen bump. That's what everybody's looking for.
Thanks for coming on, Seth. Good night.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Is that what that's the whole show? I'm here for the duration, guys. Like I'm here to watch this meat get cooked. What are you guys cooking?
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is called Danger Man.
You know what I got? I got a couple Aqua Teen sets. There was the original PVC set that came out pre the Kid Robot Blind Box stuff. And I've got that. I've got all three of them
Yeah,
from that original set. But you know what I've got that's like the best thing ever is the Carl Russian doll. Do you remember the
I
year that
have
Adult
that.
Swim?
Yes, I have that.
We got it too. Both Claire and I got one, and it gets use every day.
I brought these out from the Kid Robot thing.
Yes, I love that. You know
I've
I'm into the
never.
toy.
I thought we'd open these live tonight.
Fuck yeah, I've got
'Cause
that whole
I have
set.
no
You
idea
know I'm.
what's in them.
You don't? Did you ever know? Were you into it on the day? Because like I had that whole. I tracked down everybody. There's a kill face in there. There's a Birdman.
Yeah.
Um, it's a good set. I feel like there's at least a robot chicken and a scientist.
Hey Seth, I remember we went to Santa Monica because Space Ghost was being produced out of Santa Monica, and you and Matt Sinrick walked in to pitch Sweet J to Mike and Keith, and then I remember watching one cut of like a Superman doll being really drunk and falling out a window,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Mike saying, "Is this the most fucked up shit ever?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is really you should do this thing."
That's
So
pretty
it's
much what he
because
said. Yeah.
yeah. So it's because of me that you got that show on the air.
I've always believed that because
Yeah.
Lazo said, um, "Hey, I don't like stop motion,
Right.
but I believe this is funny. Not I think this is funny."
I believe. I believe it to be true.
We've been struggling for validation from that guy forever. We just wanted
I
a
know,
hug.
right? Yeah, and he never gave us any more than that. It was always pushback, but like with the weird long leash, right? And I've always known there was a puppet master at work, Maiellaro. I felt your fingerprints all over our show.
No, not
Yeah.
at all.
The marionette master.
Oh my god. You know, I was back there. I was there obviously from the very beginning, back before it was Adult Swim, and it was Space Ghost, and I was writing in the middle of the Cartoon Network alley next to the printer. And then Adult Swim got born. It was licensed shows, and then it was C Lab, and then it was Space Ghost, and you guys came along a little bit later.
Oh, there he is.
You know, it just kind of like it just took off. It became something that is almost impossible to realize or even do in today.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, and I didn't even think about it as it was happening. Like I sort of knew that we were all getting to be a part of something that was happening in real time and was building an audience. And in all sincerity, I watched Lazo curate that meticulously. So his vision for what the network would be as like an on-ramp for anybody 18 to 34-year-old. He's like, I want this to be the place where people feel like they belong. And so all of the material was crazy. It's a little bit weird. It felt very renegade. It felt real punk rock. Then we were putting any of this shit on the air.
Yeah.
And then it became such an advertising juggernaut because people between 18 and 34 were watching the shit out of it. And so all of a sudden, Adult Swim can sell the most profitable advertising blocks on the entire Cartoon Network. And that was when all the executives noticed, and all these other companies started trying to figure out what their Adult Swim was. Several different companies tried to put up a block of renegade animated adult. Like they just didn't even understand why it was working. Lazo was so true to that vision all the way that everything that got put on was a beacon to people who needed a place to feel like they were seen, where they belonged, you know? But it was only because it made money for so long that anybody let us do it. And the second it got consumed by much larger companies and their focus shifted away from advertisement and more into platform and content into perpetuity.
Yeah.
So it's just a whole different thing.
So back in the day, it was magical. It was like unheard of. we were just like going to town, you know?
Yeah. I feel like the people who, like everything I've read about National Lampoon or the beginnings of SNL, like the way those moments felt, like, I can't believe we're getting away. I can't believe they're letting us do this. You know, pushing whatever just like the medium a little bit further. Like Adult Swim felt like a very safe place to try shit, even if it didn't work, which it didn't always work. You remember that? You were there the year of the ice storm, right? When everybody came down to Atlanta and Lazo was putting on a shrimp boil. Yeah.
That was a big Aqua Teen party. Yeah.
It was the best. That really was. Matt and I, we knew we were a part of something special. There were all these creators. It was Tim and Eric. It was you and Dave and Venture guys. Like it was everybody that felt like, oh shit, we're fucking doing this. And Lazo's so crazy. He's like, we're just gonna get a bunch of pots and we'll have a ping pong table, I guess, and everybody can just hang out at William Street and we'll have a big shrimp boil. And I was like, man, I don't even like shrimp, but I'm coming. And it just happened to coincide with one of the large, historically disastrous ice storm.
Yeah.
We were stuck on the tarmac trying to get out all day. Like our flight was at 8 a.m. and then we didn't take off until like 2 a.m. the following. It was crazy.
You know, Dave and I started making Aqua Teen, and Lazo was like, you can only make 6. You have to wrap it up. But we're going to make more Space Ghost. So we started making Aqua Teen. It was coming out, and back then social wasn't as big, and then we started making like episode 5 or 6. And I was sitting in my office with Dave, just writing episode 6. The head of the network, Jim Samples, at the time walked down and said, "Have you guys seen the ratings for Aqua Teen?" And we're like, "No, are they good?" He's like, "They're through the fucking roof." And then that led to like it would just exploded. And I remember going to my first Comic-Con ever back in probably 97 or so, or 98, or even, I mean, not 2000 something, but back then Amazon had pre-sales. You could look up and see what's pre-selling on DVDs. And so Star Wars was just coming out, like A New Hope, number 1. Aqua Teen number 2 was number 2.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Something happened.
Yeah.
People liked
Yeah,
it.
something fucking happened. Well, I've told you, man, like Space Ghost changed me because I grew up on shit like Fernwood, and I love the premise of a talk show, especially something that's crafted so meticulously. And Space Ghost just had this premise of chaos where your lead character, he wants the show to be good. Like he really thinks he's trying to do a good show, but he has no usable skills that are applicable to this format. And so even I pull up the ant infestation episode all the time as like a way to do a bottle episode where everything is going wrong. Like this guy's got a very clear task, and that's to host a fantastic talk show. And everything until the point he's in the AC and he's like, well, I'm going to get to the bottom of these ants. It's so crazy. The idea of pulling the audience into the AC vent because they can't get a gas guy to get these ants, and the ants have become such a problem that it's really ruining the broadcast. I don't know, man. That all that stuff, just seeing that in the C Lab was the other thing, just because I knew that this was just repurposed. Like this was repurposed footage, and I even like I had heard, because I was like, how the fuck did they do this? There had been a license agreement for the actual footage and a deal made that said it could be modified against certain conditions. That like even just the time, even the duration of time, because it was all Warner Brothers assets, and because that was like owned by the Cartoon Network, which the Adult Swim is a boutique subsidiary of, they're able to just do all this crazy shit. And because Lazo had been across the street for years, he's like, I'm pretty sure I know where the lines are, guys. And if we paint right up to it, we can say anything. So watching that was so inspiring as far as what you could do with big brands, what you could do with that space in your brain, the space in the audience's brain that is so wholly occupied by pop culture, right? There's a lot of ways to get at that don't need all the things you think it needs. Like you can really just tell a joke just like that. Yeah, right. Do you remember when the Moon Men Light Bright bomb threat watching the, but I don't like to. I mean, they don't like to have this, but watching the the Boston PD bomb squad blow up that light bright under the bridge. That's still.
Yeah. And then like a week later, they blew up one of those things that the cars drive over to blow up the cars.
Yeah, their own
So-
traffic counter. They're like, "What's that? Blow it up!" Oh my god.
Feel so bad for them. I tried to track down one of those light brights forever. Keith has one. Keith.
Yeah, I have one. Dave has both of them.
Good, but you should have. They should do a light bright tie. That's really the way to monetize it currently. Release a device that's got magnets on it.
You know,
On the table.
You turned it around. It had D batteries in the back. There wasn't even a battery cover on it. It's like
The day that happened, Dave and I walked out of edit, and I walked down to talk to Mike to say, "Hey, I was just talking to Mike, and he's just staring at a TV, and he's like, look, it's like the news. It's like airports shut down, Boston shut down." And they finally showed the thing, and it was which is my character, and the people on the news are saying, "This looks like SpongeBob." Aqua Teen wasn't as big as SpongeBob. It took him like days to figure out. And then Keith walked down and said, "Do not talk about this to anybody."
Yep, that was the phone call I got. It was like 8 a.m. on the West Coast. He goes, "Well, we're dealing with a shitstorm today, so."
I'm
He
like,
told
I
us.
didn't do it. I didn't.
I know, but just to the point where we were watching it, I'm like, y'all got the best street team. Like
People were talking about
these
it.
guys really hit the road. They said you wanted ratings.
Exactly.
We got you views. What do you want?
the
It might have been
best.
best if they did think it was SpongeBob, because I feel like Viacom could have absorbed that a lot better.
Easy, hilarious.
Seth, I ran into you at Skywalker in 2006.
Isn't that funny to just say that? Yeah,
I mean, you were.
it's
there
true.
was-
That's the best
There
part.
was nobody there. David Fincher was wrapping up Zodiac.
Oh my God, I remember this. I remember this trip. We got in a lot of trouble just because we made so much noise that like Fincher complained in the morning. So who the fuck were these people?
And I'm just sitting in the big kitchen and common room, and then in walks Seth Green. I'm like, "Oh, that's Seth Green."
Had we not met before?
It's like he's working on stuff for us. I know this guy, like out of nowhere, like in the middle of like Skywalker, which is so crazy because nobody goes in there unless you're working there.
Say it again. It sounds so cool. It sounds so cool to say it. Yeah, we just ran into each other at Skywalker. One of the couple times. One of the few times. One of the many. I can't remember the year. It happened so frequently.
That was your watering hole.
It's the greatest
Skywalker.
flex ever. Can you even handle that? That we can say that honestly and it's true?
Yeah, no, it's so true. I went to the screening of the Robot Chicken Star Wars thing with George and Rick McCallum and your whole crew. You put your whole crew out there. I watched that, and I think my son Hank, who's probably not going to come out and say hi, but he might. But I think he was less than 1 year old at the time.
Oh, really?
You walked in and held him, and I keep telling Hank, it's like,
People give me their babies all the time. I don't know what that's about.
It's a baby.
Yeah, it's very, but people, I don't know what that is. People are like, here's my baby. Take a picture with my baby. And it's like, you just can't imagine doing that. Like offering my baby to a
So you just ran
stranger.
over and picked him up. This was before the screening. We were just.
Oh, that sounds like me. I just grabbed your baby.
Because Hank was sitting in a giant mixing bowl, just spinning around. I have to ask you, what is the one role that you played where you thought this is the best fucking thing I've ever done? Was it Aqua Teen? You don't have to say Aqua Teen, but
Oh, it's 12-ounce mouse. I thought, holy shit. You know, when you just feel like you're
I think that was a real question.
you're born for this. I'm in the right place at the right time. You almost black out in the booth. I'm like, wow, I found it. This is my bliss.
Yeah. Because I think that kind of set your career on a big like uphill thing. Like I said earlier. So Ronnie is a big fan of Robot Chicken.
Hey, I remember when it debuted. I was in 5th grade, and I was so excited. I mean, you said like Adult Swim was for 18 to 30-something-year-olds, but I remember everyone was so excited for Robot Chicken to come out around that time.
Yeah, Lazo talk to us all the time about the unreported numbers, the 17 and under. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unreported. The illegal viewers on that. I wasn't quite old enough. And it's funny too that you say that, he was against stop motion animation, but that's what really excited me about that it was stop motion. It really captured my imagination at that age, but then it was also pulling on these pop culture references, kind of like you alluded to, and you guys are still doing that 20 years later now. It was exciting. I got to watch the self-discovery special that's coming out in a couple days here.
Yeah.
I'd love to know, are you into that kind of discovery reality TV kind of stuff, or did that maybe come from somebody else?
Well, I love pop, and for me, it's always the stuff that really soaks in. It's less the thing of the moment than the stuff that everybody knows. Because there's some great, there's a fascinating reality about that. Like especially when people get preoccupied with any kind of theology, we're living in a time where the stuff that people can collect around is pop culture, across the globe, across how you pray or what color you are or where you came from. There's a mutual love for a lot of pop culture that connects us in ways that are more powerful, or more binding in understanding one another. That's the stuff I'm always interested in. Anything really breaks through. Like I don't pay close attention to sports, but whenever there's like a super famous sports person that really breaks through, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's name is Tom Brady.
Yeah, that guy. I know you guys had, I'm probably going to mispronounce his name, Guy Fieri. You guys had, and I was watching and I'm like, that sounds so much like him. They got a great guy. And then I saw the credits and I'm like, oh my God, it's actually him. What was that like?
Well, a lot of times when you cast these things, it's more interesting to have a person that isn't the person, because maybe you're making a joke about them or somewhere at their expense. But in this idea, the joke was all about the premise that Guy Fieri is this expert chef who travels all around the country and talks to other chefs who are preparing rare and exotic meals. Just for him to show up and like chat up Gargamel about his smurf pie. We thought that was so funny that we're like, do you think there's any chance that he would do it? And we reached out to him. He said he was open to it and had him in the booth. And he was just a dream. He was so funny. Clever improv stuff, made it better at every turn, and was also like game to make the joke good. So love him. He also felt like a guy. I was like, oh, we should hang out, man. I bet we'd have a great time together.
He seems like just a cool, fun guy. I mean, he poked fun at like he doesn't like eggs, which is something I've noticed on his shows. He doesn't like.
We were talking about that. We were like, God, what's the biggest thing? So everybody knows I don't like eggs, and we were like, okay, all right, let's say that.
Put that
let's
in there,
say that. That feels like a thing.
Yeah. I watch a lot of 90 Day Fiancé, so I was thrilled to see Big Ed in there doing Big Ed things.
That's, Matt Lillard does Big Ed's voice, and it's like, I don't know, I thought this was career high performances for him. He's phenomenal.
It was so much fun. It was so fun to see these worlds collide, especially because, now it's Discovery Warner, so did that kind of facilitate you guys being able to make fun of these shows?
Yeah, that we there's so many of these mergers that resulted, thousands of people being fired.
Yeah.
We were just sort of looking at what our lowest risk pitch was, because everybody was quite genuinely terrified. We'd been through a pandemic and then several years of corporate consolidation that resulted in, over 100,000 people being relieved of their positions. And so us pitching, a massive lift just wasn't going to get through. And we were already thinking about, we looked at South Park move from a series model into like a biannual special model, and felt like that's a very comfortable space for us to fill, because it's less about just the need, the way TV works right now, especially since it's boiled down to streaming. Having something that you could put out like twice a year or every year and make use of everybody's promotions. And then we were like, what would really sweeten the deal is if we got Discovery in on it. Like, let's cozy up to our corporate stepdaddy. See what makes you laugh. And so that was the pitch. We were like, hey, what if we did an entire, because we've teetered into reality before, but more with Bravo and doing singular sketches that talk about Bravo, like the Marvel universe, building our own Infinity Gauntlet in that way. But this seemed like something else. This seemed like a better opportunity to say something that we thought was really funny. And then explore exactly these shows. So we called the Discovery heads and we were like, this is what we think would be. And they said they wore it like a badge of honor for us to localize all of the vision on all of these shows.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it's so platform-based now that anybody going on there is going to see the Discovery shows. Maybe they're into those, and then they'll see the self-discovery special, maybe you can catch some new Robot Chicken fans by hopping onto there.
It's true. We talked to Discovery just about when we were going to program it and putting it out in Shark Week, and so we have a lot of Shark Week, Shark Week stuff running through there. It's just the fun of that because Shark Week is so big; it's bigger than any of the individual programming anywhere, and everybody knows it. Like that's a title, brand name that travels. So integrating that in felt really organic.
Yeah, for sure.
How about Aqua Teen Week?
Hey, no joke, Matt. All right.
Oh.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Now I see.
So this is bigger than my head, and we're gonna put it on.
About time, yeah. It looks like it's gonna smell
500 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna FedEx it to you.
Wow. I wish you actually would. I mean, like, make sure it's like freeze dried or wrapped or whatever.
Yeah, just send me your
Flash
address.
frozen.
All of your addresses. Yeah, it's frozen.
Right. All of my addresses. We're gonna send it to each one of them.
It's a big steak. There's enough.
We're just gonna route it through all these ports. Hey, Matt. In all seriousness, we have talked about an Adult Swim half hour. Like that's the kind of that we would love. What we really would love to do is do a dedicated Adult Swim half hour. That would be all of the things that we loved about Adult Swim, but like finding the ways to connect them all.
Just call me up. Let me know. I'm into it.
I know who's gonna do our George Lowe now, though.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could do it.
I don't think so either. Like we have to figure out a way for all of his characters to be believably mute in the special so that we can show him without dishonoring his beautiful legacy.
I mean, John and I were talking before we started here that you guys had so much footage or just content from George Lowe recorded. Maybe you can go back in the vault. Who knows? I mean, you guys had hours.
Yeah, that guy.
Well, you're not wrong.
A lot to get off his chest.
You're not wrong. Yeah, we
There's
do.
so
We've
much
got
stuff.
like a
That's
lot.
what everyone tells me. There's so much stuff that he recorded.
It's true. We did. We recorded a ton. If we went through old folders, God, we'd have to check if that media is still viable. There's a lot of that shit degrades, and it was never like when we first started Robot, we weren't even shooting at 4K. So all of the resolutions is jacked. Our framing, everything is very different.
Yeah.
Well, look, if they can up-res Purple Rain to re-release it theatrically.
I'm about to sear this motherfucker. Hold on.
Woo! Get it in there.
Do you cook, Seth? Are you a meat man?
I'm terrible at all this stuff. I actually, we almost burned down the house a couple weeks ago.
All right, stay away.
Trying to cook on a grill because we
Keep it a safe distance.
well, lighter fluid on the charcoal, never a good idea.
Yeah.
But then even more so,
Almost caught on fire.
just now,
I would show it to you, but you're attached to an iPad. Hold on.
we poured out the coals too soon.
No.
Poured out the coals into a
It's on a
plastic
Traeger.
trash can, and it just burned the entire bottom of the
Don't worry
trash can.
about it. Don't worry
You know
about
how it works.
it. Everybody's okay. This is my son. Why he's shooting?
Green, nice to meet you.
I can't quite so this is sort of like FaceTiming with my mom, if I'm being honest. Wow, that is convincing though. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not real. It's AI.
This whole thing was a ruse.
Hey, what's up, man?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
That's why he's a huge fan of Family Guy and your character.
Oh, sweet. Make sure he only poops on the toilet. Well, if you're not gonna poop in the toilet, at least get it nearby.
It's the thought that counts.
Well, dude.
You can
no,
see
we're
a
good.
lot
We're
of
still good.
intention.
In like 2 minutes, I have to flip the steak.
Okay.
Yeah.
If only there was somebody with a
What do you make
counter.
for dinner tonight, Seth?
My wife actually cooked us something. I'm not sure what it is, but I think there's rice involved.
I think you're just kind of kidding. Uber Eats is going to show up and deliver something for you.
No, you know what? We do a bunch of those meal prep kits where people send stuff, and you can do. I like it just because I didn't grow up cooking all of like I was a literal latchkey kid and we would just like cook whatever I could reach. And by cook I mean like stick in the toaster or the microwave. And so by the time I moved out on my own, which was at 16, I had to like low key figure out how to feed myself and I never really got good at cooking. So it wasn't until I did a ton of ordering or like going out or just doing. I also am super low maintenance, man. I didn't grow up with a lot. Kraft mac and cheese is totally great. Hell yeah, we did it. I'd buy the pallet of like cup of noodles because you get like 16 of these things for $5. Are you fucking kidding me? This is 2 weeks of dinner. I'm saving so much money.
Just add water.
Inflation, man. That's like $6 now.
For the whole pallet's worth.
Ah, man.
Too much. Too expensive. I gotta pay for the water too? Jesus.
You're out of your mind. I'm not paying for this water.
That should be included.
I'm getting this out of the garden hose.
My neighbor's garden hose. I'm not paying for it. I already paid for the noodles.
Yeah, I ran down the street. I pulled the hose out of the garden. I filled up my cup of noodles, ran back to my house. I put it into the community microwave.
When you save the broth from the first cup and put it into the second cup,
Always rinse your broth. Yeah.
Super ramen.
Yeah, you get that extra dense MSG layer.
Congealed.
Yeah. When your heart starts racing, that means it's good.
It means it's working.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the dragon I've been chasing, right? that second day a cup of noodles, water siphoning. Somebody's got to have a simple name for that, right? There's a boiled down name that means the second day extraction of your noodle water into a new noodle salt rush artery hardening that you're chasing. Right, it's called like super salt stacking or something.
Yeah, exactly. I hope so.
I call it efficient.
I call it my life.
So we're about to get this giant MFing thing off. We have mashed potatoes, and
No
Is this a PG podcast? Am I not supposed to have been dropping as many F-bombs as I actually have?
This is on Disney, so
This is a Disney show.
They're gonna be mad.
yeah,
They are not gonna be happy about this.
So I want to thank you both so much for being on my show, Kingdom. Seth Green, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Matt, it's my pleasure, dude. You know I love you.
I love you too. Let's do
Next time I see you, you're getting hugged.
Let's do a movie.
Oh, you
me. Will you play me? And then we're like,
Oh, you mean like let's shoot a movie next week? That is some Adult Swim pitching right there. We're gonna shoot a whole movie next week.
I have half of it written.
Look, it's on a series of paper towels. I've got at least the first 2 acts. I don't know how this ends. If I'm being honest, I don't know how this ends.
We'll figure it out and edit.
We'll figure it out on the fly.
We got 72 hours to get this draft finished, and then we're shooting. You understand?
Yeah, exactly.
72
As
hours.
long as I'm the star. But
Of course.
You're playing me. You're playing
Yeah.
me. The whole
It goes
time.
without saying. But this is going to be sort of like adaptation, where you're on set filming you, telling me how to better play you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll work out perfectly.
I'm excited for it. People aren't going to know what to do.
Am I supposed to watch this or what is this?
Listen, we're not making any declarative statements.
No. All right. Thank you, Seth. Thanks for the
Thanks,
time.
Ronnie.
It's nice
Great to see you guys.
Nice
That was
to
fun.
meet
Nice
you
to meet you, Ronnie.
Thanks, Ronnie. Nice meeting you. All right.
Bye,
good night,
guys. See you
All right,
later.
guys. Good night.
Put the part that's not bone over the pan, right?
Yes.
So we can catch the juices.
Plan. Never done this before.
Smoke the essence. We don't need that. But we don't want to put that. Perfect. Right over the thing. In about 4 minutes. Again. So I'm gonna do this so the smoke goes around the steak.
Yeah.
And then we just have to monitor that temp.
It looks like it's going pretty fast.
Want that? Yeah, I'm gonna shut it off for a minute.
Yeah. We'll slow it down. Because I think it's going too fast.
Yeah. Want me to close the bottoms some?
Yeah, might need to. Like we're already at 10.
Alright, let's just shut it down. It'll slow down, right?
No.
I know. Well, worst thing is we just take the lid off. That's probably more helpful. Right? Let it burn out.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's going. It's working. It's gonna be done like way early.
I don't want it done early. Let's let this burn down. So it's not getting any heat right now.
No, the water should be blocking all the.